Hello, everyone. You're watching SK Live. I'm your host, Indradin Basu. Today, we have a very dashing young man, someone who is leading Cricket Association of Bengal as the president, Mr. Avishek Dalmiya. Thanks for coming on SK Live, Avishek. It's such a pleasure
Thank you.
having you. How are you?
Thank you so much for your kind words and the generous introduction. I do not know whether I deserve that or not, but thank you so much for it.
No, obviously young and dashing, at least younger than me.
That's there, yes.
So it's been quite a challenging time for a lot of people, for administrators, for cricketers. So how you're managing in like close to 5 months?
See, obviously, it is a difficult time, as you know, and as you rightly said that. But I think that one has to accept the reality and take into consideration the ground realities and just move on. I mean, whatever is required at this point of time, we have been doing that. But of course, we are quite hopeful that very soon this phase would be over because it's a temporary phase. As you know, that it's an evolving phase, and yes, it's a tough time as of now, but we are hopeful that the vaccine would be out sometime soon. And because, as you know, that phase 3 research is already on, so we are quite hopeful that the vaccine would be out, and once that is there, it'll be a completely different ball game.
And
So we have to be ready for that, and that's what we are doing at present, because we just want to be ready for any situation. I mean, for us administrators, what is our job? Our job is to ensure that every facility is in place and we are ready to get back to the game as soon as the situation is conducive to it.
absolutely, and you're doing a phenomenal job. Even at this kind of time, you're holding meetings, through Zoom calls. You're helping people to get their finances all right. You've been amazing.
See, because as I just said, that I think the need of the hour is to stay beside the people, because it's a very difficult situation, especially if you see the umpires, scorers, those who are completely dependent on it. So we have cleared all their dues. We have also paid an amount of 25 lakhs to the state relief fund. We have also contributed to the Prime Minister's relief fund, as you know. And other than that, also, it is not just about contributing, but it is also about staying beside them whenever they needed any help. So we have been forthcoming there, and we have tried to help them with their medical arrangements. We have also been beside the groundsmen, because whenever they were in difficulty, so we tried to come out of our way and stay beside them, because end of the day, at the grassroots, they are the pillars. As far as the players are concerned, we have also cleared all their dues, and we did not wait for the BCCI to release the prize money and then give it to them. In fact, we have ourselves given it, and later on we have claimed the amount from the board. So that is about the various things which we have done for the players. But other than that, what is most important is to keep them motivated, because be it mentally or physically, because these are the two important components, and which we have been able to take care of so far, because we have started with our online classes. In fact, we were the first ones to do that. We engaged VVS Lakshman. We could also engage our video analyst, from whom we said that you please prepare the videos of the last season, and so that we can give it to our coaches, and they can start working on them. And also we have hired yoga instructors to keep them fit. And later on also we are having the physical training classes with the help of our trainer. We have prepared a video which we have initially shown it to them, and later on with the help of the video conferencing, all are doing it simultaneously, so that the team bonding is also there. I mean, you're out for a very long time, so team bonding is there, because be it on the field or off the field, as you know, that cricket is all about a team sport. So we have been trying our level best, and we are optimistic that this phase will also pass by, and we will be back to playing cricket, because the entire objective of our state associations, it's basically to promote the game of cricket by organizing matches, and that's what we look forward to.
Absolutely, and hopefully after Durga Puja, your association will start having the club matches also, right? That's what.
Uh, See, I will tell you here, because see, there are two aspects here. One is from when we start the game, and the other thing is the preparation. So as you know that we have already been in talks with the Indian Football Association, because here we share the Maidan. During the off season, it's usually the football which takes care of the grounds, and also they have their matches. But this time there are no matches, so we have come to a sort of a settlement where we have said that okay, we'll give you two grounds in the month of September and October, and in return you allow us to start doing the groundwork, and so that we can start the preparation of the grounds. And we have a lot of curators, assistant curators, who would be doing their duties. We had already procured the soil, and we have kept it at Eden Gardens because we don't want to waste any more time. So we want to start with that. And obviously the wickets are in a better shape because we did not have the full season in the 2019-20 season. It wasn't a full season, so as such the grounds are in good shape. So maybe the top dressing is required. So we have already done the recce, and we have the soil in place. We have already reached and almost reached an agreement with the IFA, and we will soon be having talks with the various units who are the co-sharers of the ground, and we will do our best. And in fact, than what we do every year is basically we ask the co-sharers to prepare it. But this time, taking into consideration the difficulties and the challenges, the association would come forward and help them in preparation of the grounds, so that from our side we are ready by November. And then keeping our fingers crossed, because as you know that the health and the safety of the cricketers is paramount to us. We cannot
Absolutely.
compromise on that, and it is not a child's play really, because it's a pandemic, and we have to accept that. And also, as a law-abiding organization, we have to abide by the various protocols and various guidelines set by the central government as well as by the state government. So we have to abide by that, where they have said that no sporting activities at present. So we will have to wait for them to relax the protocols or the guidelines. And obviously, we will not be flouting anything. But having said that, as and when things get little better, it should not be seen that we have to wait because we are not prepared. We will be prepared to face any situation that may arise.
You're quite well versed, actually. That's the reason you've got the biggest move happening. You made Eden Gardens the quarantine center, which is quite a reliable thing to happen, and
See,
quite
it is very important to stay beside the administration, because it's not just about a sport. You know that CAB has always come forward with various ideas. Earlier, it was eradication of blindness program also, which we had started. Then we have our blood donation camps every year on our foundation day, which you are well aware actually, because you have also been a follower of Bengal cricket and a lover of Bengal cricket. So obviously you are aware of that. So
yeah.
which we call it the Frank Worrell Day. And obviously, so whenever such things come forward, I think that cricket is much beyond than a sport, and it is a moral duty and obligation to stay beside the people, especially the COVID warriors, those who are actually trying to curb the pandemic, the spread of the pandemic. So we have to be beside them, and that is one of the reasons. But then once we have decided and we have gone ahead with that, we have ensured that the areas that we have given is actually on the other side of it, so that where the basic cricketing activities happen, the indoor area, and where the clubhouse is located, that's absolutely free from any quarantine center. So it's basically you're almost like having a quarantine center next to, though it is all under the galleries, which we have done. We have also allowed them to use the mini hospital that we have under F block, and we have also ensured that it's a separate gate for the entrance. So absolutely, the quarantine facility is there. We have done our bit, but ensuring that it does not affect the cricketers or their confidence.
Absolutely, and you're so hands-on with the game of cricket, and this is something a full credit should go to your late father. Late Jagmohan Dalmiya sir. He taught you right things, isn't it?
See, I think that he is my guru. I mean, whatever little I've learned from him. But having said that, I think I've been very fortunate to have started my career working with him. In
Yeah,
fact, I used to look after his back office job, so I'm very thankful, and I feel blessed that he thought that maybe that I can handle that the back office. It wasn't an easy task, of course, but then he used to guide me, and the very task that I was given initially was to go through the minutes of the last 25 years of the BCCI. So
Wow.
I had to go through all the minutes to understand. He said that unless and until you have a basic grasp of the things, how things have happened, I don't think you'll be able to get things going. So that was my first job. That was to go through the minutes. But having said that, later on also, when he was not there, I had the privilege of working with a legend, Saurav Ganguly. So I think that I've been really blessed to have worked with two greats. I started my career as far as the cricket career is concerned as a back office guy under my father, and obviously I would go with him to the various meetings where he would be going, and so I saw him interacting, and I saw him, how to deal with the issues, and also the a basic psychology of an administrator, how it should be. There would be pressures from outside. You cannot bow down to that. And also that how important is honesty, dedication. These are the very important things, and hard work, because there's no escape route for that. And because, as you know, that he had to undergo a lot of trials, really, and to prove his bona fide. And I've seen those phases also. I've seen the good phases, I've seen the bad phases, I've seen the ugly phases. So yes, so I've seen all the good and the bad, ugly things. And so I've seen a full circle, a circle of life or cycle of life, whatever you say. So that is one side of it, but that was completely as a back office guy, because he was absolutely spot on to say that you are not even being a committee member. So I had asked him a couple of times, not that I did not. So I will confess there, because I did tell him that, why don't you make me a committee member? I mean, it's all in your hands. But he said that no, that is not fair, because till the time I'm holding the post, I don't think that you should enter the Cricket Association of Bengal. And I was not there, though I was in the Rajasthan club, because I would that's the unit from where my father started his playing career also, and later on he became an administrator first at Rajasthan club. So I was there with the team, first division team. In fact, I've played also a few matches for Rajasthan club. I'll talk about that later. But the other person from whom I've learned a lot is Saurav Ganguly, because I mean, he's the person who has actually changed a lot of things in Indian cricket to making it Team India, as we all know, and the leader that he is. So I've been very fortunate to have worked under him, and it was a fantastic 4 years that I worked with him, and it was every day that we would sit for hours and exchange our views. So I think that was also a very important learning curve for me. And of course, talking about him, I mean, it's still, I would say, my good luck that I still share a connecting room with the BCCI president. I mean, not many can say that today that they share a connecting room with the BCCI president. So yes, I share even till today, and right from my childhood, except maybe a few years, I've been either been in close contact with the CAB president, or maybe with an ICC president, or with a BCCI president. So yes, I have been quite fortunate enough, and I'm really thankful to God for that.
Really. And talking about childhood, what are your first memories of Eden Gardens when you entered? You have
I wish you could have asked me a different question, because I don't think that it is a very good memory that I can share with. But since you have asked,
okay.
it is not really, I'm not somebody who would actually duck down to bouncers. Though that's the first bouncer, I think, and I can expect that what are the other deliveries that you would be bowling at me, but during this interview. But anyways, I think that I'll just talk about that. It is during the final of the 1987 World Cup,
Oh,
which was known as the Reliance Cup, which happened
yes.
at Kolkata. So it was called
Yeah.
Calcutta at that point of time. I was very keen to go, and that
Yeah.
was the first time I went to Eden Gardens. Actually,
Yeah.
why I was keen is because I was in England when that epic meeting took place at ICC, when the veto power was taken out from Australia and England, and in fact I was waiting for my father when he would be returning to the hotel, so that I would be going out for a walk with him. But he came back very late that evening, and he said that it was a 12-hour long meeting in the long room, and that's when he said that the World Cup will be staged outside England for the first time. So I was very keen from that point of time. Of course, there's another history to it, how the final came to Eden Gardens, but I do not wish to say on that. I don't think it's proper on my part to say on that, because it involves a lot of intricacies of the BCCI, and I don't think it is proper on my part to say about that. But then these are the things which made me very keen to go for the match. So when the match happened, my sister was sitting at the lower tier, and my seat was next to my mother at the president box.
Okay.
And what I did was that I asked one of the members that, can you take me to my sister, because from up the president box I would see that she's having a great time,
Yeah.
with all the other people and crowd and cheering. And as you know that at that point of time it was nearly a lack of people who would be witnessing that
Yeah.
match. So
Yes.
so 1 lakh people and all cheering, I could see from the president box. And in the president box everybody was quiet and just looking at the game. So I was very keen that that why my sister is only enjoying it, why should I not enjoy? So I went there to the lower tier, taking the help of a member, and
Mm.
that member left me at the lower tier and he came back, and that's where I got lost.
Oh
So,
God.
and then there was a bit of panic, and while the final is on, and my father, in fact, what I heard later on, I don't remember
How old were
that
you?
particular
How old
time.
were you? How old were you?
I was 5 years old at that point of time,
Oh God.
and but then he sent 7 8 people searching for me in the lower tier, because I was so small that I could not be seen from up there, and I was just lost in the crowd. And the crowd, as you know, Kolkata crowd, it's famous
Yes.
for being cricket friendly, and they were having a great time there. So witnessing the World Cup final, though
Yeah.
obviously they would have loved India
India.
Pakistan match to happen,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and India and Pakistan both lost out in the semi-finals.
Yeah.
But then unfortunately, but then people were still having a good time. So that's where I got lost. In fact, even I was little, I would say, perturbed, because I did not know, because at that point of time I thought that the best place was where I was sitting in the president box, and I really wanted to get back to that, but I did not know how to. But anyways, then people came and they looked for me, and finally they got hold of me. And the first thing which I was told at that point of time was that my father told me that, do you think that this is my job to look for you when the World Cup final is on? And then he said that, that which I still do, in fact I still follow. That was the first lesson that I learned. He said that you're supposed to sit where your ticket belongs to. You're not supposed to go somewhere else just because you have power. It doesn't mean that you misuse it. And
Absolutely.
you better sit where your seat number is, and where it belongs to, and not anywhere else. So I think that's also the first lesson that I learned. And also, obviously, I have to say here that what I learned from my father was that he would always show his ticket, which I'm sure that even you are aware of that, Indranilda, because
Yeah. Yeah.
you have
Yeah.
also seen him from very close quarters. That
Absolutely.
often it has happened that you were also at the gate, and he would show his ticket and enter. And
Yeah.
often the police there would say that you did not show your ticket, we know you. But he would say no. But right from the top, the discipline has to follow. And if you are not disciplined at the top, others would also not follow. So in fact, so I think that there are plenty of things to learn from him. But I think that that's my first experience of Eden Gardens, and I can see the Eden Gardens at the background. And I'm really I envy you for that, because I'm still I'm sitting at my bedroom, and you are having a background of Eden
Yes.
Gardens, which we all consider as our temple and a place of worship.
Ah,
So yes, so but
correct.
really happy to see that at the background. Yeah.
But your dad really set so many right examples. I've heard stories about how he gave that World Cup as the ICC president to Steve Waugh in '99, and then he took a tube to get to his hotel, and that kind of touch. I mean, he always kept the it was never individual. It's always the institution which was important for him,
Yeah,
isn't it?
I think that's very important because, as I said initially, also that it's all about team sport and how you be an important team member there.
Yeah.
Obviously, there are differences between being a boss and a leader. I think he was a leader, and one of the reasons why he's still respected and he's still loved is because he was humble and down to earth. I think these are the very important qualities of any person. And yes, he would take a tube because I think that's the easiest way to travel in England, because either you walk or you take a tube. So that's always much better than taking a taxi there, which is enormously expensive. And not only that, it takes a lot of time because you have these signals every I would say 100 meters. So that was an easier way, so he preferred that, taking the tube. Now, talking about the World Cup final handing over, I'm sure that you're also aware of it. I don't know whether you want me to say on that or
Of
not,
course, of course. Yeah, yeah. What exactly happened? Why that delay
but
happened?
yes, because see, I have to say the truth here because you are privy to that. So yeah. So what happened was that, as you know, that that was the first time, the first World Cup, which was called the ICC World Cup. Before that, it was either the Prudential Cup or the Reliance Cup or Wills Cup, or on those lines, Benson and Hedges, in
Yes.
1992. So it was the first time it was under the ICC banner, ICC World Cup, and that was the first time when it was also decided that the president of the ICC would be handing over the trophy. So when the final happened, the Queen was also present at the venue.
Yeah.
And the rule in England is that where the Queen is there, it's usually the Queen who presents the trophy. So
Yeah.
the entire prize distribution ceremony was actually delayed by 10 minutes, and because so that the Queen could retire. And only after the Queen left, the entire ceremony happened, and my father could hand over the trophy, because it was not about the fact that he wanted to give away the trophy, but it was about protecting the chair of the president of the ICC. I think that was very important because, as you said, that the institution is always more important than the individual, and that's how it should be. And he believed always in that. He felt
Absolutely.
that it was important that the honor and the prestige associated and the responsibilities associated with the chair of the ICC president demanded him to hand over the trophy. And that is the reason why the entire exercise was undertaken. And obviously, that's how he could hand over. And that has been the trend even now, thereafter also. You would always find the chief of the ICC handing over the trophy
Absolutely. And
of the ICC Global Events.
yes, 1980. Talk about ICC 1983 when we won the World Cup cricket. Sorry, we seem to have lost Abhishek. He's going to join us. We're talking to Avishek Dalmiya. Abhishek, can you hear me? Can you? We
Yeah.
lost you for a
Yes, I can.
minute. I think you got a call or something. This is a problem. Oh,
I don't know what happened, but I think that glitches are also part of the cricket
absolutely.
also, because you still have those glitches in
No,
between. So
no.
yes,
You talk about the ICC. That
yeah,
there was World Cup in '83, which made cricket really big. But from '83 to '87, BCCI still didn't have money, and then
no, it was not.
it didn't have money, and it was Dalmia sir who had the vision, who had that willpower inside that we have to take it to a level where it could be a global sport, and
Yes,
he
it is a fact. In fact, I'll just cut you on that actually,
yeah, yeah,
because when my father joined in 1983 as a BCCI treasurer, at that
yeah,
point of time it was minus 85 lakhs is what the board had in its coffers. So yes, it did not have money. And also at the time of the 1987 World Cup, which we were talking about,
yeah,
a lot of renovation work had been undertaken at Eden Gardens to ensure that it had nearly a lakh capacity.
yeah,
So that's also when life members were inducted, so that revenue could be generated, because there was no money in the game at that point of time. So CAB had, and the officials they had to scout for people to become the life members, so that from that money the stadium could be built. And yes, that was the scenario at that point of time. And the board had to pay money to Doordarshan to showcase the matches, to telecast the matches.
Yeah.
And obviously, at the time of the Hero Cup, which was also the Diamond Jubilee celebration of the Cricket Association of Bengal,
Yeah.
that's where things changed a lot, and for the better as far as the BCCI is concerned, because there was this huge court battle that went right up to the Supreme Court. And there was a bigger bench that delivered the judgment late at night, in the house of one of the justices. And I still remember, in fact, that was one of the two occasions where I saw tears in my father's eyes, because I was too small to understand what was going on. But obviously, as a family member, we were all supporting my father, that we have to win the battle. And because we knew that it was a do or die situation, and the CAB, the Cricket Association of Bengal, had taken a huge challenge. And because it would have been completely a different story, because it was such a huge tournament, and where
Yes.
revenue was very important. And TWI was also there, and with whom the CAB had entered into an arrangement. and
Yeah.
and so it was something really to look forward to, because it could have been doomsday otherwise, had the judgment gone the other way. So my father said that he was always very thankful to the institution and to the members of the CAB, because they backed him. And they said that, okay, if you feel that it's a good case, then you please go for it. And the association was rock solid behind him. And so it was that historic judgment that was delivered late at night. And you had those different huge telephones those days. And it was a different call. When a trunk call came, you would call STD's trunk call then.
Yes.
So we were all waiting for that ringtone of that, and that when the trunk call will come, and when the news would be given, that what happened, what is the judgment. Because as you know, that it had come too near the first day's play. So and the telecast, I mean, the entire production kits were also put on hold, and it was not being allowed. And it was a ugly court battle that was going on. So obviously, that's when the good news came. And of course, I could see the joy in my father's eyes. And it was tears rolling down his eyes. And that was absolutely, I mean, a different feeling. I mean, something that which I will never forget in my life, because on neither will my sister, nor any of, in fact, the others are not there, because my mother was the only other person who was present at that point of time. So we were four of us: my dad, my mother, and also, in fact, my grandfather and my grandmother. They were also there in that room, which was my father's bedroom, and all waiting eagerly for the call to come. So these are different feelings, but I think that's where the entire dynamics changed, and that's when money started flowing in. and
Absolutely.
and uh, and cricket, from just being a sport, it became an industry where a lot of former cricketers were being taken care of. And later on, of course, the pension scheme was started, which was when my father was the BCCI president, but that was much later. But during that time, I think 93, 94 onwards, the situation became different, and BCCI became gradually a force to reckon with as far as world cricket is concerned. And it was absolutely no looking back after that as far as the Indian board is concerned.
Absolutely. He got the vision. He had the vision. He got the vision, and he led the pack, which got money for cricket. And then he also did a lot of stuff for cricket on the field. He got South Africa back to international cricket in '91. I remember when South Africa sent the team
Yeah,
to India
that
on the
that
big
was after apartheid. That was
yes,
after
yes,
apartheid, and he
yeah,
had played a crucial role in South Africa coming back, because I think that he always believed that cricket should be a global sport, and which is one of the reasons why later on also he supported the globalization of cricket. I mean, that was his motto and his mission when he became the ICC president. And the number of teams which participated then and the number of teams that participate now, that says it all. Because
Absolutely.
and also, in fact, when Mr. Percy Son became the of South Africa, when he became the ICC president, I think he was very candid and he was very categorical in thanking my father at that point of time. He said that a lot of it goes to Jagu, because as they used to call him.
Yes.
Yeah, so and Jagu Dalmiya is what they used to call him, and he was immensely loved at the ICC. So he was always seen as a big brother who would be there to protect the interest of everyone. Yes, India became a superpower, but not at the cost of anybody else. It was well within its own rights, because it generated maximum revenue, but also it ensured that the game would spread to every nook and corner of the world, and everybody would get benefited. And right, even in the ICC, because ICC also did not have much money. It had 16,000 pounds in its coffers, and it did not have a chamber for a ICC president. I mean,
Wow.
the system was that he would initially, when he went to the ICC after becoming the ICC president. So he said, "Where is the chamber of ICC president?" So at Lords. So the ICC CEO, David Richards, at that point of time said that usually, the ICC president sits on the sofa, and there is only one room where the ICC CEO sits. So Dad said that, okay, so that is what it used to be. From now on, this would be called the chamber of the ICC president, and the ICC CEO could actually sit on the other side. So so those were the things how it started, and then he felt that it was important to generate revenue also. Otherwise, how would you make it a global sport? So that's when the ICC knockout trophy happened, and because nobody believed that ICC could also generate revenues, and that's when because before that it was almost like it was considered as a toothless body, as you know. And then
Yeah.
how, because unless and until you have revenue, you have the capacity to generate revenue, you have enough money in your coffers to distribute for the development of the game, you would not be respected that much. And that's the harsh reality of the world, and that's how it is. So it was very important to generate revenue, and that's when the trophy was held in Bangladesh, because Dad also wanted Bangladesh to come into the cricket
Yes.
more as a full member than being
Yes.
just an associate member, because
Yeah.
it was one of the countries where people loved the game of cricket. And obviously he thought that maybe it has the potential to become a full member, and which is why so that the entire focus also is on Bangladesh, which is why the entire tournament happened, and all the ground equipments were sent from CAB there through trucks, and the curator went, and entire thing. CAB had also helped Bangladesh Cricket Board in preparing the venue, and that's how money got generated even in ICC. So yes, he has played role, because I'm not saying just because I'm his son, or it may not it may not sound nice for a family man to say about that, because it's more for the others to say. But since you asked me, I thought that I must answer your question also.
And I also have a question that, you said how much was the reserve, cash reserve ICC had when you took over?
It was 16,000 pounds.
16,000 pounds. And after he left, what was the
Yes,
balance?
it was, I think, uh, 500 and something million. So that's how.
Doesn't that tell a
Yes,
story?
yes. So that's how 575 million maybe. So
Yeah.
I think that's how it was, and gradually it became more and more. So it had its office there in London, and gradually it had it now it has its office in Dubai, and so obviously, as civilization grows, so that's how ICC has also grown over the years.
Absolutely. And when we see crisis in world cricket, we think about one gentleman. Wish he was here with us today. Because he was a class act in getting things out of crisis situation, and that was a great trait he had as an administrator.
See, I think that he was somebody who would not shy away because, first of all, you have to first understand what the issue is. And if you understand and if you believe that it's the correct thing which should happen, then there is no ground for you to back out. Because
Ab-
here, it's not just about you're not here to make relations with people, you're here to serve the game of cricket. I think that's the most important thing. And the another most important thing is that you have to keep it in mind is that the game belongs to cricketers, and he was always cricketer friendly, because that I think that's the basic thumbs rule, is that the this game belongs to the cricketers. You're here only to serve the game temporarily till the time you are holding the chair, because it's
ab-
it's end of the day the chair which is most important. It's not just about the individual
And
ambitions.
I remember 2001 when that controversy, ball tampering controversy happened, and like Sachin Tendulkar, Virendra Sehwag, and the way Dalmia sir went after Mike Dennis. My God,
Yeah,
that
because
was
as I said, as I said that if you believe in your team, if you believe, if you have faith in your players, I think then there is no reason for you to back out. And he took that risk at that point of time, and he did go out of the way to support the cricketers because they were legends, and unnecessarily at that point of time concerns about racism cropped up, because it's not for that. I mean, cricket is all about brotherhood. It's all about unity. I think cricket stands for friendship. So these are the basic things which one has to understand, and that is the reason why he backed the players, because it's very important for the administration to back the players, because only then they have get the confidence to play their to their best of their abilities, because when they know that you have a board which is actually backing you, that is very important. And I still remember, in fact, there were questions raised that whether there would be parallel ICC or not at that point of time, or whether India would come out of ICC.
yes,
But
yes,
somebody had asked at a press conference. I was there at the venue. It was at the our meeting room, conference room at Eden Gardens, where he would be holding the press conferences in the evenings. And I think you were there as well.
no,
So
I wasn't there, but yeah, but we
you weren't
know.
there.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So I was there actually. I had gone because because I wanted to see it firsthand, because everything would come out in the papers next day. So I wanted to see my dad saying giving the press bites, and which would be published the next morning.
yeah.
So which is why I had gone to that to see the press conference. And when somebody asked that whether there would be a parallel ICC, so he had said that no, ICC belongs to us. So if somebody is not happy with us, they can walk away. Why we should walk away from the ICC? So it is not, So I still remember all those thing. Also, in fact, that was one of the quote of the day in one of the national dailies, that where he said that ICC belongs to us and why we should walk away from there, because it belongs to everybody, because it belongs to every stakeholder, it belongs to every country. So there is no reason for doing something which will be hampering the game of cricket. Rather, we should do something which so that the justice is delivered and justice prevails. I think that was the stand which he had taken, and quite rightly so.
Did he believe in continuity? I mean, as an administrator.
See, I think continuity is really important. I mean, because that's when, see, because initial years you actually learn on how to tackle the issues, because you don't come in ready made. I mean, it's not a like a a showroom or a kind of a shop that you're going to where you have tailor made clothes already. So it's initially you have to understand, you have to become an administrator, and there should be some kind of continuity. But then obviously it is also about giving scope to others, because it's not just about holding on to it. It is only about when you feel that you'll be able to do justice to the post that you are holding, because there are many associated responsibilities. So obviously that is more important. As I said, that the institution is always more important
Yeah.
than the individual. But then there are times when it's also important that continuity is there, because you need a stronger organization, and that happens when there is some amount of continuity. Obviously, now there are quite a few hurdles and speed breakers now in the system. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to make it a more controversial one, because especially when the matter is being heard by the
Yeah.
Honorable Supreme Court. So I don't think that I should go beyond my periphery or my jurisdiction. But then I think that yes, there are views that certain things are required for the benefit of Indian cricket, for the which will be beneficial for the Indian board in the days ahead, because whenever something new is introduced, there are bound to be some teething problems also.
Yes.
And there are also ways to tackle it, and obviously the board has taken the right approach, because it has gone up to the apex court, and where it would share its views, the views of the general body, and later on it's up to the court to decide.
They say it's become a fashionable to point out to someone that we have a conflict of interest, as if it never existed in Indian cricket. But there were good conflicts, there were bad conflicts. But how did Dalmia sir discuss in private with you about conflicts? Do
See,
you have
I
any?
think I think I was the biggest victim of that.
Is it
Why I'll tell you is
okay?
because I love the game. See, because right from your childhood, if you hear stories about cricket, when he would come back home and he would tell the stories as to what happened during the course of the day, or when he would take calls, because when he was in the ICC. So obviously, different countries had different time zones, and accordingly maybe he would talk at 2 o'clock at night, 3 o'clock at night, when he would be talking to West Indies, or maybe Australian cricket board or New Zealand cricket board, so all at various odd hours. So when you would listen to all that, so obviously you start developing a passion for the game. I think that's very important. And for a cricketer, be it as an administrator or cricketer, you have to be passionate, as far as this sport is concerned. So I was very keen to take it up as a profession. So
Okay.
I did play for my school also. Yes, I've played a few CAB matches later on, but
What
that
were
was
you?
not
What were
on a
you?
professional basis. But I'll just tell you that, because but when I was in my school team also, but I was told not to play professional cricket, because since he was associated with the administration of the game, he said that neither it will actually give a good picture outside, because for the integrity of the sport, nor will it be good for you. I mean, you in the sense, good for me. He said that if you are selected in the squad, then people would say that because your father is holding an important position, then that is the reason you got selected. And if you are not selected, then people will say that you have, despite the fact that your father is there heading the institution, still the boy could not get to the team. So that will not boost your confidence, but it will actually be something reverse. So I think that so he understood the conflict of interest. And as I said a bit earlier also in your show, that I was told not to be a committee member even when he was uh, holding the post of the president of CAB. So obviously, I was always kept outside.
I think we are talking to Avishek Dalmiya, hearing lots of good stories about his dad, former president of BCCI, Mr. Jagmohan Dalmia. We're waiting for him to join back. There's some technical problem. It can happen. It's been on for last 44 minutes. Thanks for those who have joined in. Abhishek is back.
Yes, I'm so sorry. I mean, the line got disconnected, and as
No,
you know that, I'm still backdated as far as the modern
we
day
all are.
technology is concerned.
We
So
all are.
because
We
as
all are.
yeah,
That's
so
right.
it takes a bit
Yeah.
of time actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but
yeah,
but and neither do I use the cameras of 20 lakhs value, that that can have
Who does?
create
Who does?
backgrounds of your choice. So you do that. Everybody's aware of that. As far as Bengal cricket is concerned, that you have a different background, and you use your wall to have that. Anyways, now I want to borrow that, in fact, in one of my next interviews, whenever I give that. But coming
Okay.
back to that, I think that as far as conflict of interest is concerned, so that is one of the reasons why I was kept out of that. And also, he was the first one to issue. Am I audible, by the way?
Yeah, you're audible. Very much. Yeah, yeah.
Hello? Yeah,
Audible. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So,
Please go.
he was the first one to sign declaration of interest in the board.
Yes,
So that
yes.
was in 2005, where
Yeah,
he felt that a declaration of interest was very important before the telecast rights were awarded, that you don't have any conflict of interest there. And it's all recorded in the 2005 working committee minutes, because the governing body was called working committee at that point of time, and not the apex council as it is called now.
yeah,
So he was the first one to introduce that. So obviously, I think that it is not to be honest only, but you must look honest also. That is very important when you are holding any public position, and especially when the stakes are high, because the integrity of the BCCI is very important. How people perceive it is also very important, because it's the eyeballs that generate the revenue, because your public is one of the biggest stakeholders after the cricketers. So I think that that is very important, and which is why how it should be, or how it should not be, is not the issue here. Because yes, I do feel that the conflict of interest clauses now has been stretched a bit too much, because it should also allow the former cricketers to earn their livelihood from there. So I think that that is one aspect. But if you talk about the administrators or those who are holding the positions, I think that it is very important that the conflict of interest clauses are well intact, so that people believe that yes, there is no foul play. Because you might be very honest, but that is not enough. You have to look very honest also.
yeah. Absolutely. And Dalmia said really, really had faced a lot of problems. He was obviously called the kings of I mean, he made so many comebacks, king of comeback. They used to call him
See,
because
see,
he
that's because he had to undergo a lot of trials at the various courts, and
yeah,
various other platforms, and there had been allegations, but he had to face that, and clearances were given to him by even the RBI. So not many can claim that, So be it from the RBI, be it from the other platforms or the authorities, where they issued the clearances, and in fact even the court orders were in his favor. So I think that so he had to prove it, and the day it wasn't very nice, so he had relinquished his chair, because he said that I do not want to, the association. I do not want the association to suffer because of me. And
yeah,
despite winning a very close election, that was in 2006, he had actually resigned from the post, and which he again fought for it only when he got the clearance from the court. So I think that these are the things which brings in confidence, and people know that yes, you are someone to look forward to when things are not going your way. You have the experience, and then at the same time you're somebody who has gone all out to clear himself, and face trials, and not through the back door, but through the front door. And then you come back, and then in difficult times people support you. So and that is one of the reasons. And especially, as I said, that if you are humble, if you are down to earth, and if you believe in team working as a team, only then others have faith, because nothing comes free of cost, and there is a lot of sacrifices involved, a lot of hard work is involved, and not often that you are always rewarded with what you are doing. But yes, if you are having a platform, it's important that you utilize it in a way that people at least feel that yes, this guy is not a bad guy, and he's not here to take advantage of the association or the body or the organization, but he's here to deliver, and he is there to think about everybody, and he is there to promote everyone, and it is all about promotion. It is all about promoting others so that there is a smooth transition happening, and it is all about you have to think the organization belongs to you, because unless and until you have that attachment, you are passionate about it, I don't think that you'll be able to do a fair job. I think these are the very important things which one has to take into consideration and move forward. Just give it your best and not think what results will come your way or what it will not, because those are not very important. What is important is that you have to be dynamic, because you cannot have a closed mind, and whatever the requirement of the situation, you have to understand. You have to take everyone into confidence, and you have to just go ahead and not think about the consequences. I think the importance of the association is always it should be ahead of you, and you have to protect the chair, that which I was speaking a little while back also, because I think it's very important to protect that chair, because you are only a custodian of that, and it's a temporary thing. People have elected you to protect it. People have elected you to ensure that you do a decent job as far as the association is concerned. So I think that's what it is all about, and he did that, and which is why whenever there were difficult times, people would fall back on him, and they would ask him to actually lead it again. I think he's one of the uh, only persons uh, who became the BCCI president more than once. He was there earlier also, so from 2001 to 2004. Then he was the interim president also, when it was about cleansing the game. I
Yeah.
think that was the flavor at that point of time, and that is when people chose somebody who had to undergo trials and who had to prove his bona fide. And so that was then. And again, when the house was divided, it was an unanimous choice in 2015 that yes, we
Yes.
need somebody who would not take
Chennai.
sides, and
It's Chennai.
and who would not take sides. I think that is why. So 2.5 times he was the BCCI president, because even the current constitution allows you to be the BCCI president twice. So he was there 2.5 times. So that makes it special, because obviously, when you are loved by everybody, only then such kind of things happen, when people know that you're a humble servant of the game, not otherwise.
And what I really like, and not me, everyone, you're carrying the legacy of late Jagmohan Dalmia so well, and that's what makes you a very popular CAB president, and also a very popular face in BCCI. They love you in
See,
BCCI.
I don't think, I have a little different opinion here, because obviously, I mean, it is not fair to compare, or even I should not be thinking about comparing, because somewhere it would come if you tag me with him. So I don't think that it is right
I
way
mean,
to
you're
do that.
carrying his
No,
legacy.
no, no, no. Yes, but I don't think so. Because we are all individuals, and while I am trying to help my, I'm trying to do my bit, but carrying the legacy, it's a very big thing that you stated, because it's not easy when you are regarded as one of the best administrators the world of cricket has seen, and when you were instrumental in ensuring that the first World Cup final was here, when you were in 2013, when you ensured representing the BCCI as interim president in the ICC, when you ensured that three global tournaments, 2016, 2021, and 2023 World Cup, which would be happening, the global events, it will be coming here, because that's when the 8 year cycle was given, and the ICC meeting got delayed because he was negotiating over a cup of masala tea, that India must have three global events out of the six, ICC at that point of time. Then, if you're the person who was instrumental in bringing back South Africa to international cricket, if you were instrumental. in ensuring the coffers of the BCCI as well as the ICC is
Yeah.
filled. If you were also, instrumental in talking about globalization, I think it's a huge legacy that you are talking about. I don't think I'll be able to do justice to that, but what I can say is that I'm just trying my best. Yes, what I have learned is honesty from him, and with the best of my ability, I will try to serve in whatever little way that I can, so that I can do justice to the fact that people have elected me unopposed unanimously. I think that's also a huge responsibility, which I will try to ensure that I do with the best of my ability. But carrying forward the legacy, I don't know whether I'll be able to do justice to it.
No, you're already doing a great work. I have to tell you that because people at all levels, I've interacted with a lot of people. I have lots of friends who are former cricketers from Bengal, Safi Ahmed, Murtuza Lotkar, Shiv Sagar Singh. All these
See,
people.
I respect the former cricketers, and because I think that whatever the game is, because of their contribution. Because if there were no cricketers, there won't have been cricket. It's as simple as that. So I think that they are the most important stakeholders, and during those days, money was also not in the game, and still they had also given their sweat and blood for the game of cricket, and obviously this is the time when the association also gives you back, and all that they demand is respect. So I think that it's important that they feel at home, because it's their association, and because that we always have to take into consideration that whenever we think of anything, we have to think about the cricketers first, and it's cricketers all the way actually.
Are we going to get another ICC chairman from Bengal?
Uh, See, to be honest, I don't know. It's for the BCCI to say, because I think that as you know, that global cricket is facing crisis, because
Of
it's
course.
not it's not the same situation because of the pandemic. The entire FTP needs to be reworked, because a lot of tournaments got cancelled, and as you know, in fact, for us also, like the match that we were supposed to host against South Africa, that got cancelled. So
Yes.
we would also be looking forward to the BCCI to negotiate, with the English cricket board, England cricket board, when they are because they are the ones to tour India in early 2021, because that's the next home series. So if they can manage to host two more matches, because then two matches that got cancelled, at least they would be able to host that. So I think that while there are expectations from the board, as I was just saying about this, but not just that, but also other boards also would be looking forward to India's participation, because India visiting their countries would make them earn the revenues. It's also about the interests of the broadcasters. People know that a lot of revenue gets generated from India. So it's very important that India plays a crucial role as far as the ICC is concerned. So I think it's very important, and also from the BCCI's perspective, also you have two major global tournaments that would be held in the country in the next 2 3 years, because 2021 and 2023 global world events are there. Then
Yeah.
allotment of the next FTP is there. You have the same broadcaster who also does your IPL. So you need to speak to them. You have to take all the sponsors into confidence. So there are
Yes.
plenty of things to look forward to. I think that strong leadership is the need of the hour. I don't know how or what the thoughts of the BCCI is. I'm sure that they would also be considering every aspect of it. Then there are tax issues which needs to be resolved between the ICC and the BCCI. So there are many important things to look forward to. A reworking of the FTP, as I said, though they are bilateral arrangements, but you would want a stronger ICC to help every nation come out of this pandemic. And so I'm sure that it's important that somebody from India plays a crucial role. I don't know how it will be, or what the equation of the BCCI is with the other boards, because it is not for me to say that. It's for the BCCI, and it has all the top administrators in the board. So I'm sure that they would be thinking about the whatever requirements of the board and requirements of the cricket as a global sport is. So I'm sure that the right decision will be taken in the days ahead.
I mean, we're getting reports that a lot of the first class cricketers, A-list cricketers, they haven't been paid because BCCI is not able to release money the way they wanted. They wanted to restructure the entire domestic payment structure. They couldn't do it. So, what is your message to them? People who are supposed to be paid, yet to be
See,
paid.
I think what is very important is when the new regime at the BCCI got elected, they gave a very clear message that they are beside the cricketers,
Yeah,
and I'm sure that they would be towing the similar line, and it might be the fact that yes, certain things got delayed because of the pandemic, and as you know that how things would again come back. Resumption is very important because there are many challenging issues at present the board has to take into account, because IPL is a very important thing, important for the ICs, for the BCCI revenues. So I'm sure that there are plenty of things to look forward to as far as the BCCI is concerned. So their hands are also, their plate is also full, but at the same time I'm sure that the interest of the cricketers is also in the back of the minds of the board and those who are at the helm. So I'm sure that there's nothing to be morosed. There is nothing to be, sad. Yes, there are times when the entire world cricket, or maybe even outside that, it's facing a tough situation. So one has to have patience,
yeah,
and this is a temporary phase, and everything would again fall back in place. Just have the faith in the BCCI, and because BCCI has been doing a fabulous job over the years, because you have had several top leaders who have actually contributed to the BCCI, which is why what the board is today. And today also, the board has top-notch administrators, and who are very concerned about the cricketers, who are very concerned about cricket, who are very passionate about the game. So you all you need to do is to have a bit of patience and allow them to, because there are difficult times and there are many issues. Let them overcome that, and I'm sure that the interest or whatever they have promised, they will stick to it, and everything would be taken care of in due course of time.
yeah. And before we let you go, I just want to know one more thing. Uh,
Yes.
how much do you think Indian cricket lost because of this pandemic?
uh, See,
Ballpark figure,
Indian
if you have
uh, lost in the sense, I mean, because this
the
particular
opportunity.
time you're talking about.
Yes, yes, yes. Last 5, 6
See,
months.
I think the biggest losers here are the cricketers, because 1 year for them is very important, because as far as the BCCI is concerned, it will overcome it, because
That's a good
sooner or
thing.
the later, once, yes, because BCCI, as far as the state associations also, because once the BCCI comes out of it, then obviously it's a chain reaction. So obviously the state bodies would also come out of that. Obviously how they think about the resumption, that is a different matter altogether, whether they would think about the longer version, because or the shorter version. I think to start with, because these are something very important, because if you see the world of sports, it's essentially the sports which gets completed in 3 years, 3.5, 3 hours, 3.5 hours, which is taking importance over the others, and that's those games are actually being played at present, because you come to the ground, you play, and you just go away without any breaks. So
Yeah,
whether you would want something like that, or whether you would want to start with the Ranji Trophy, or maybe the longer version, because that's also very important as far as the game of cricket is concerned. So obviously that is something different, but resumption of cricket will happen sooner or the later. You have already seen that the countries which have already seen the peak, and which are actually coming out of that time, they are already hosting the matches. England is one of that. Then you'll find the IPL happening at the UAE. So it's not that it's the end of the world. So things will fall back in place, and the it can't go on forever. It's a temporary phase. So
absolutely.
so you are seeing this also at a time when still there is no vaccine. So once the vaccine is out, it will be
You saw that.
absolutely 2020 for that. 2020,
Yes,
not in terms of the sport I'm talking about.
yeah,
But I'm saying, how you play the game of 2020. It's all about slog over. So I'm sure that the BCCI also would come back, and you would see fireworks all around. So it's a matter of time. So I'm pretty certain about that. So we will all come back to that. I don't think that we have lost too much. Yes, it may be a delayed period. Yes, it might be a time where a lot of things had to be cancelled, a lot of things had to be reworked, strategies had to be reworked. It's that phase where you have to hold on to your patience and uh, you know take decisions strategically, take decisions after taking everything into your sponsors into confidence, your other stakeholders, franchises into confidence. I think that's very important, because everyone should feel that as a unit you're moving forward. So then I think that everything will fall back in place sooner or later. But as a cricketer, if you lose one single season, it's an enormous amount of time. So I think the biggest losers would be the cricketers, those who have actually lost out a lot of local cricket. Yes, but
yeah,
luckily we have been able to play domestic cricket to a large extent. And if things fall back in place now and in the days ahead, and if we can actually have the tournaments back, I don't think that it will be too much of a loss.
yeah,
But and because, see, you can't crib over the spilled milk. So you
yeah,
have to think that whatever is there, don't see always the glass as the half empty glass, but the glass is full. You have to be optimistic in life. You
absolutely,
have to take up challenges in life, and whatever, you have to take the bull by its horn. So and we have strong leaders in the board, which I'm sure they will do that. The board is a strong board, and it has its finances intact. It has strong people in that, and I'm sure that collectively, if we all move forward and not think about how who's facing the difficulty, or things like that, but from our side we be ready to it. From our side we work out strategies on how things can fall back into place, and at the same time have patience, perseverance. I think these are the things that is required. And at the same time, be very careful, because you cannot rush into it and put our players to risk, because I think the health and safety of the players, it's paramount. It's not just for the players, it's not just for those who are associated with the game, but it's also because you don't want to spread the pandemic. So
absolutely,
that there's also a social cause attached, and I think that's a bigger cause. So I think there are plenty of things that we need to take care of, and everybody together, I think, as the song goes, we shall overcome someday, and that day will be
absolutely.
very, it'll be sometime in near future, keeping us fingers crossed.
Absolutely. And we have strong people like you at BCCI, at CAB, and I'm sure cricket will resume.
See,
And
that's kind of you, nice of you. That's because you love me. You have seen me from my childhood, which makes you say all that. But I think
then,
there are far more important persons in the board.
of course, everyone
There
is
are
important.
far more people,
Everyone is
those who
important.
understand the game better. And I'm sure that for everybody, it's the love of the game that is most important, and they want Indian cricket should come out with flying colors.
Absolutely. Abhishek, it was such a pleasure talking to you. You are so, as I said, the phrase I use, well versed with everything. Everything is like back of your hands. You know everything. I mean, you're hands on, which is so important. And thanks a lot for coming on SK Live, sharing your views about your dad, about your cricket exploits as a as a young budding talent, and as an administrator. You have a long way to go, and we wish you a very best, and stay safe. Thanks a lot for coming on SK Live.
Thank
Take
you
care.
so much for your good wishes, and it was a pleasure coming here. And take care, and stay safe too, Indranilda.
Thank you. Thank you. Good
Thank you
night.
very much. Thanks a lot. Bye.
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 Bye. Bye.